Previously on the Fenland drains.
This was on the actual float rod. That is an absolute clunker, it really is. And all I can say is I'm made up. Whether I stay tonight, I'm in two minds now with this weather. But yeah, look at that. What a lovely, lovely Fenland pike they are. That's a beautiful pike, really nice. And that is fish number, is it 4 or 5, something like that? Right, fast, the little thing. And that was on the float on the middle rod. But the length of it's probably the longest pike I think I've ever caught, to be honest. So today you've joined me and we are on our way to the Fenland drains. We are going to be hopefully targeting some monster pike. If you've watched my channel, you'll notice there's blank after blank after blank, and then all of a sudden we end up catching a big pike, and that is just going to be the way it works throughout this season. Just keep trying and trying. So I'm thinking each day a different drain. But having said that, if we do get lucky and we catch some pike on the first day, then it might encourage me to stay a little bit longer. Every day will be a separate video, and we're just going to try our best to get some fish. Let's have a look, let's have a look. I mean, look at that. Visibility is going to be at its best. As you can see, we've still got a bit of duck pond weed, the rushes, it looks nice. So without further ado, I think it's time to get the bivvy set up, get everything loaded, and then we'll give it a bash. But yeah, I'm pretty confident for a fish, to be honest, I really am. So we are ready to rock and roll. Both rods are all set up now. All I need to do is get some rigs with a bit of bait on them. So it's absolutely peeing it down. So I'm going to quickly show you the setup I'm using for the float, in case you're new to the channel and you haven't seen it before. So I've got a stop knot on the line. I'm using 40-pound braid on this session. Power gum stop knot there, about 12-13 inches away from the float. And then I'm also going to have an 18-inch long trace, which I'll connect onto this quick link. It's an inline float, just runs up and down the line. And that is the final job. So that's going to stop on the stop knot there, and the bait's just going to be wafting around. Actually, I might reduce that to about there. So that's going to go like that. Right, let's get this one cast out. I'm not going to go too far out. That is not going to be on the bottom. Looking at the bottom here, it's nice and clear. Can't see too much debris, to be honest. There might be further out. So I'm just going to put this out probably a rod length and just watch what happens. But that's perfect. So I will be watching the float while we're waiting. Always good to have an alarm. Second bit of bite indication. Tighten up, so yeah, that is absolutely perfect. So everything is in situ, we are ready to go. Both rods are out. Leisure dead bait mid channel, fairly clear at the moment, that spot there, but there is little bits and bobs on the bottom I can see. Looks like little shrubbery and bits and bobs growing through on the bottom, but it's clear. It is gin clear. I cannot believe it. When I cast the float out, I could watch the dead bait just slowly going down right onto the bottom and just resting there. So I've never fished this drain when it's been like this. Every time I've ever turned up on these in October, it's always looked like chocolate soup. It is just, there's no visibility whatsoever. So sometimes it can work in your favour, having a bit of colour to the water, and sometimes when it's gin clear, it can make life very difficult. The pike come in and they might not like the look of something, or they might not be up for a feed. But most of the time, if you get a big pike on a drain, I'm talking sort of 20, mid-20s, they're not going to pass up a free meal at all. If they can see a big juicy dead bait, and then you've got a group of rudd or roach moving around, it'll go for the dead bait. The less work it's got to do, the better. So like I say, on the float rod, chop the head off, loads of blood and attraction, you can see the oil on the surface. And then the left hand rod, mid-channel, I've cast that out, and it seems fairly clear, and that is a full medium-sized sardine. I put a few little score marks in the bait to give off a little bit of attraction, and every now and again when I look I can just see little bubbles of oil coming to the surface. So all in all, it's looking all right. And my confidence level is fairly high at the moment anyway, because here we go, let's have it. What have we got? Oh, only just up to the scissors. Only a bubba by the look of it. It's amazing to see him in this gin clear water, it really is. Yeah, not massive, but very, very welcome. First one of the session from the drains. I really should have set my underwater camera up now. Oh, go on, my son. Beautiful. This is what we like to see. I was a bit 50-50 when we turned up. I didn't know what to really expect, to be honest. Yeah, only just, oh, lovely. Only just up to the scissors. And you find on pressured waters like these, they can be very cagey, even at the beginning of the season. Right, I think you're about ready, mate. Not a monster, but oh, that's what we like. Not just ready yet. Oh. Come on, mate, let's be having you. This is what we like. Come on, mate. Let's have you. Only a bubba. Lovely. Happy days. Well, as you can see, he's only a little bubba. Beautiful looking part. I mean, look at them markings, absolutely stunning. So I'm not going to get the main camera out, we'll get him back. But yeah, what a lovely pike. So we've got one in the bag at the moment, really over the moon with that. Only a little small one, but it's a good start. We've been here probably hour and a half. I've done a couple of recasts on the rods, and then all of a sudden that float just started going, then stopped. And I thought, hold on a minute, might have dropped the bait, and then just went, and then we got it in. Nice little pike, nice condition. So it's nice, you know, to see that there's some fish in the area still. After that, hearing the stories of the fish kills and all, you know, bits and bobs, it did knock my confidence a bit for when I had some sessions planned to come down here. But all in all, I'm hoping that, you know, there's a few big gills left and we can catch them this season. But for now, I think it's just a case of just sitting under this brolly, hoping the rain stops, and hope that some more fish come through. So what I do after every fish, this is the state of the fish that we've got. As you can see, there's bits of debris, bits of weed on here. All I tend to do is clean the trace up a little bit. And as you can see, the dead bait, it's a bit mangled, to be fair, so instead of me just wasting it and chucking it away, all I tend to do is put it to one side, make sure the trebles are nice and sharp. Trace is okay, it's not too kinked, that's perfect. So all I'm going to do is get a fresh bait, do the same again, chop the head off, that nice bit of attraction. This is a fairly large one, so cut through that, that's perfect. Put that to the side with the dead bait, then same again. And because I'm going to be here for 24 hours, what I'm actually going to do is pre-bait while I'm here with little pieces of fish. And it can go two ways. You can get hammered by eels, which to be honest is a rarity on here. I have done this tactic before, and you know, I haven't had too much problems with eels. So that's the fresh bait that's going on the float, so that, put that to one side, and then all I do with the old dead bait, cut it into two pieces. So now you've got 3 small pieces of fish, and that is what we're going to be using for dead baiting, for pre-baiting. So all I'll do is get those 3, get the fresh rig, and we're ready to go. And over the years, just these little pieces of fish in the area always does me well, every time. So we're going to be fishing mid-channel with the left rod, which we've got now. Float rod's going to be tucked away down here. So I'll literally just put just a couple of little small pieces in, just around where the float's going to go. And it puts a nice scent trail in the water. But not only that, any big pike coming through, they'll pick up on the scent trail, they'll see the little pieces of fish, there'll be a big piece of fish there, and then bang, that's it. It's sort of just keeping them in the area. If they know there's food there, they might not want to feed, but 6 hours down the line, you might get an absolute monstrous pike come through, see the bits of bait, maybe a small pike feeding on it, or bits and bobs, an eel. The pike will take interest, come in, and then it's a little thing that I've done over the years. I mean, each to their own. I know sometimes a lot of people like to chuck the baits away and get rid of them, or maybe freeze them up for a bit of pre-baiting. This is what I do while I'm here, because on these drains you never know what's coming through. You really don't. You could have a load of pasties, little small jacks, or you could have a couple of big gills come through munching away, really greedy. She keeps the jacks away from her and she's on the prowl for some big food. So that is what we're going to be using. And what I've actually done to the float rod, at the moment there's a bit of pace on the drain. It's picked up a little bit, so all I've done, kept everything the same, but I've just put a small little 2-ounce lead, and that's running on the line. So basically when the pike takes the bait, it'll pull through and it won't feel any resistance. Well, won't feel too much resistance. So that's all clipped on there, and that is ready to go. Oh, that is bang on. That is absolutely perfect. Yep. What have we got here? I'm guessing another small one. Yep. Another little babber. Only just ducked. And it just goes to show how pressured waters these pike can be really funny or picky. Yeah, you can just see the bait on the side of its mouth, so only a little babber, but very welcome. Come on, mate, let's be having you. It might come off actually. It might come off. Come on, mate. Come. That's the one, fella. A little bit bigger than the other one. Well, as you can see, a bit bigger than the last fish. That's the one. Beautiful. He'll be sulking down there now for the next couple of minutes. So that's 2 in the bag. Happy, happy days. Oh, yes. I think this is fish number 4. Oh, only just ducked. Oh, a bit bigger than what I thought. I've got one in the net, a small one, and I've got a bigger one in the sling. So I think this might be the biggest one of the day so far, to be honest. There we go. Fish on. Oh, what a session.